Well, it's a pandemic of its own, isn't it? And of those figures, 70% is still not reported. So it's infinitely higher than that. I mean, COVID won't have helped, and lockdown for sure. During April and June last year, in the first 3 months of lockdown, the police were getting 200 calls a day from children reporting sexual abuse within the family. Historic abuse is more than 1 year. And I know girls and women are a far higher percentage of abuse. But what really does concern me is we are never talking about the boys. There are plenty of boys that are also sexually abused. My 3 boys were in the school that they attended. And the problem is the system protects the system. There is no cohesion. So I go into schools, we are actually teaching children. When we go into schools, and I'm working with the Department of Education, that teachers are I wasn't teaching. They are restricted, if you like. If you think that is the line of where you're talking about these sort of issues in school, teachers will hover below that because they are restricted by the fact they're teachers and what they can actually say. We go into a school and we go over the line and take the children further and deeper, and we get amazing results. And that's not what's happening. I mean, every school I go in, the first thing I say is, how do you get on with children's services in your area or social services? And you just get an eye roll. And what happens is they're perfectly intelligent people, teachers. They suspect, they guess, they know, they report it. And then they're told it doesn't meet our threshold. So, there's this massive gap. We are consistently failing children. Nobody wants to open the can of reality. We need mandatory reporting because at the moment we've got statutory guidance. Well, that's just hope and a prayer that you're going to do something. The worst you'll get is a black mark against your name if you don't report it. But also what's not happening is the schools and society is not looking at why do people abuse. I've gone into prisons, I've spoken to sex offenders and child abusers, and without exception, they all had issues in their early years of trauma of one sort or another. That for some, not all, of course not all, but for some, when they went into school, even in infants, that started as overly sexualized behaviors that was written off by social services as child's play. Then that goes into primary school. Then that goes into overly sexualized behaviors. You see it time and time again. And you cannot take away the issue of the negative impact of social media and pornography.